Look at this incredible run. The stock of CrowdStrike, Cramer faves cybersecurity company, reported a tremendous quarter last night, sending the stock up 12% today. These guys have a long history of blowing away the estimates. They did it again. CrowdStrike delivered a big top and bottom line beat, with management raising the full-year forecast across the board. They've had a lot of success getting customers to consolidate on their platform, rather than going elsewhere for part of their protection from different organizations. At this point, the stock's now up 34% for the year, although it's still down roughly 6% from its highs in March, so could it have more room to run? Let's check in with George Kurtz. He's the co-founder, president, and CEO of CrowdStrike. Get a better sense of the quarter. Mr. Kurtz, welcome back, and congratulations on a great set of numbers.
Great to be here, Jim. You know, we're so excited with the quarter and the numbers that we posted. $3.65 billion in annual recurring revenue, 33% revenue growth, free cash flow 35%. With a rule of 68, well above the benchmark rule of 40. So well, overall, great quarter.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I happen to have open from my questioning a chart in your deck called Growth at Scale. And because of the law of large numbers, we typically don't see, as businesses get bigger and bigger, a continual level of 33% ending ARR, 34% subscription revenue. What is your secret, especially now, because in another week it'll be it'll be your 5th anniversary?
Well, we're certainly excited about the 50th anniversary of being a public company, but I really think it's not so much a secret, right? We've built a true security platform, and that was the vision when I started the company well over a decade ago. And I think you're seeing the realization of this. You're seeing the fact that we can consolidate many point products. We can save customers money. We can save them time. And more importantly, we can give them the outcome they deserve, which is stopping breaches. That's resonating with customers. They're buying more. 8+ modules, one of the stats that we talked about, attaching to our customer base was up 95%. That's the true definition of a platform company.
Yes. Now, I want to go back to something that you talked about. You put some dollars down here. You said even though every dollar invested on your platform can save a client $6. Can you elaborate how that's possible?
Well, it's possible because when you look at the hodgepodge of point products that a customer has to use, we can eliminate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these and save a tremendous amount of money. And it's not just the acquisition cost of these other products. It's actually the time and money and the people power that are necessary to run them. Then you combine that with our generative AI technology we call Charlotte. We can take 8 hours of work and turn it into 10 minutes of work, because Charlotte is doing the heavy lifting on behalf of our customers.
Okay,
and
so
we're seeing a 90% win rate when people actually pilot Charlotte in their environment.
Yeah, see, that's incredible. And the other thing, I guess, is a continual backdrop that you give us. You describe a widespread crisis of confidence among the security and IT teams of your customers, in part because of another Microsoft breach.
Well, this is what we're seeing, and you know, Jim, you and I have talked a bit about this for some time, and that is a crisis in confidence in the install base. And I think one of the areas that we've been very effective in is being able to provide security that customers need without 6 consoles, without the complexity, and just having technology that works, and it works across heterogeneous environments. One of the things that I talked about in my prepared remarks on the earnings call was this concept of a monoculture. Customers are at risk when they are basically buying security from their application security provider and their cloud provider, and you're buying legacy technology. So this is resonating with customers. One of the reasons why we created Falcon for Defender, to protect Microsoft customers that are saddled with using Defender technology.
So therefore, you're oddly working with Microsoft. You're not ripping out Microsoft and replacing it. You're just saying, listen, with us, you can feel safer?
Well, we're saying this to customers. We can backstop their technologies on desktops, and obviously it's an entry point for us into a customer account. And overall, leveraging our technology and services like Overwatch, which is our managed detection response service, we've seen a 6x improvement in mean time to detection over our competitors like Microsoft. So it's a win for our customers, and we provide it in a packaging that makes sense for them.
And you also talk about, for the first time, you actually point blank named Broadcom. Now, Broadcom has to be a charitable trust holding. I like it because the Hock Tan is doing some things that are aggressive that I like in AI. But this is not that part of Broadcom, right? There's a legacy bit of Broadcom that you're able to really go after.
Well, there is, and this is something, as a company, Broadcom has done a great job, and you have to give credit where it's due, but obviously there's some legacy technologies that's part of their portfolio, and really their customers are coming to us. They're saying, hey, we want something better, we want something more modern, want something that can save them time and money and gives them alternatives, and CrowdStrike is a great alternative with a fantastic outcome.
I think one of the things that, for the people who don't follow actually what exactly Falcon does and what you do, there's a stat that I think that will resonate with them because I want people to own the stock. And that is your application rate and how it compares to the best colleges we have in this country.
This is an incredible stat. And when I heard it, Jim, I said we have to put it in the earnings call. And that is, well, the last 5 quarters, we had almost 700,000 applicants, and we're so selective that it's actually, we hired several thousand of those, but if you do the math on it, it's actually harder to get a job at CrowdStrike than any Ivy League college. And I think that goes to the quality of the people that we have at CrowdStrike, and the best people are solving the hardest problems for our customers and building the best technology.
At the same time, you do pay homage again to what Jensen's doing. At NVIDIA, you call them, CrowdStrike is the epicenter of securing the workloads driving the AI revolution. What happens if the bad guys get in control of some of the stuff that we're seeing from NVIDIA?
Well, look, you have to give credit to NVIDIA and what Jensen's doing. Just amazing. And, we want to help and be part of that success. And when you think about these workloads and the proliferation of hardware and pods, I mean, it's just exploding. You follow the hyperscalers and CapEx and what's being bought and how that's being used. You're going to need security to secure all these AI workloads, and this is just another accelerant in the boom for cloud security, which is an area that we play heavily. The bad guys can use Gen AI, and we use it to stop the bad guys.
Well, that's why, I mean, I'm very sympathetic to Secretary Raimondo when she says, look, we've got to stop the Chinese from getting the latest and the greatest. If they have the latest and the greatest, it's going to be much tougher to stop them, isn't it?
I'll leave that for the politicians. We're going to focus on protecting our customers from the adversaries around the globe, and that includes nation state as well as the proliferation of e-crime, which has just exploded. Ransomware and extortion. It's just an amazing set of challenges that customers have to go through, and we want to use the latest technology with a great partner like NVIDIA and leverage AI to solve really, really hard problems.
One last question, it's personal. My office knows we all sit together. I get about maybe a call or two a day from someone who represents a Medicare organization or a Medicaid organization, and they have all my health care. They have everything. They have every operation. They have How is this possible? Who has that information? None of these organizations is real.
This is the challenge that we've seen, Jim, and this is one of the areas that I think maybe is not as well understood. We hear a lot about ransomware. People have gotten a bit better in backing up their data. You've seen some of the other players that help in those areas from a technology perspective, but the bad guys have changed their tactics. They're now resorting to extortionware, where they're actually then extorting companies for this data, or they're leaking it and putting it into the dark web, and then it's being bought and monetized. And what you're seeing is the end user of that monetization, and that's why you're getting those calls.
Well, they do sound great. When they call me and the things they offer, it sounds like the greatest deal in the world, which is therefore something that people should just hang up on immediately. I want to congratulate George Kurtz for still one more never fail, never miss quarter. George Kurtz, co-founder, president, and CEO of CrowdStrike. George, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jim.
CrowdStrike's the winner. What can I say? Mad Money's back after the break.
Coming up, Snowflake shares cooled after their latest report. Could an investor day agenda help the stock plow ahead? Stick with Cramer. Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadMentions. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.